Good evening, Guardians, and welcome to what could be possibly the last word with the amount of rage building in this room right now. We'll get to that in a second, though. I am your host, Mike Chalice, and with me, as always, we have the man with the beard, Matt Bird.
Mr. Gloom and Doom number 2.
Mr. Gloom and Doom himself, Sam Landry. And the boss of bosses, Josh Quigley.
Yeah.
Before we get into what we've been doing in Destiny, because we do actually have some fun stories about that, we are going to talk about Gamersport Gamers, which is a page on our website which allows gamers that have YouTube channels, Twitch channels, gaming-related website or podcasts or any sort of content along those lines to add yourselves to our website and have another avenue of people to find you, maybe find some like-minded gamers. We feature 4 people on the site every single week as part of that group on the main page, but please visit that website. And if you are one of those people who want to be added, just go to gaminglag.com and click on GSG or the giant Gamersport Gamers banner and fill out the application there, and we add everybody once a week. Bear with us, though, because we are not an automatic thing. It is all manually done to give you some nice, pretty cards. The next thing we're going to talk about is the swag shop, which is the easiest way to support us. It is gaminglag.spreadshirt.com or go to gaminglag.com and click on shop. You can get some awesome swag. It's the best way to support us. Instead of just doing donations, we figured this would be a much better way. You get actual t-shirts, coffee mugs, all sorts of different things, and all the proceeds go to us. So, without any raging, please, because we are going to refrain from that until the end of the podcast. What have we been doing in Destiny this week, guys? I don't care who gets to tell that story about the other night. Anybody can go.
All right. Mine's going to be short. I've hit the wall, and she is strong.
Sam's been having a lot of trouble finding the motivation to play Destiny since there's really nothing to do anymore in the game.
I was trying to level up my Titan.
Yeah.
I was falling asleep.
Yeah.
I just said screw.
It's hard to level your third character. I get that. Matt, what have you been doing in Destiny?
For a second time.
Yeah.
What
have you been doing?
I played the Sherpa again. I did share the Vogue checkpoint with some people.
Absolutely.
Same as always. Might not be getting it this week, though.
Yeah.
Busy tomorrow, which is usually the Tuesday thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I will.
I'll try. I might try and get it. Okay. I have a dentist appointment, so never mind. Yeah.
I'll attempt to. No,
yeah.
Ran all the Nightfalls. Only got one good piece this week, but I already had it, so I got an exotic shard out of it.
Yep.
Zur was selling Suros.
So that's big. That was big for everybody.
For that.
I still haven't used it yet because I'm so obsessed with scout rifles and hand cannons now. But
didn't get it.
Had a really good night the other night doing the raid. We decided to, of course, being the people that we are, we decided to cheese the first boss and the second boss on hard mode.
It wasn't cheese. It's part of the game mechanics.
Yeah, that's true. We didn't actually do that stupid jump thing. Matt just soloed the Abyss being invisible and stuff. And then we did the bridge, which was cheesed. Then we randomly just decided to try and do Death Singer with like 3 level 31s and 1 level 30, and me being level 32. And
I was level 32.
Oh yeah, Josh was too. Very, very fun. We were playing. What were we playing? The He-Man song there.
The He-Man.
Oh God,
I don't know.
What's going on?
Yeah.
The He-Man "What's Going On" video in the background while we were doing it.
Is that what was playing?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And some Lonely Islands.
And some Lonely Islands, some Jack Sparrow, and the only person who survived, and we actually did it. We weren't even taking it seriously. The only person who survived was the level 30. Who actually soloed the last half after Death Singer was dead and killed a million after 20 minutes of waiting for him to kill all those things.
Who was that?
Bets.
Oh, God. Well,
but he did it. We beat it, and then we all parted ways. Josh, have you done anything exciting?
I got my Warlock up to
29, I think.
Level 29.
Yep.
So I ran him for the very first time through normal mode Crota.
You were carried through normal mode Crota, yep.
No, totally.
It was all you.
All me.
Yep.
Hey.
And my 243 kills.
And your 243. That was in the hard mode while you hung out at the beginning.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
Because you soloed the whole first part.
That was normal mode.
No.
Oh, wait, no, it was normal mode. He's right.
Was.
Yeah, okay.
It pains me to say, but he was right. I did the Nightfall on both characters.
Yep.
No, you got carried to get. Actually, no, you didn't.
No, I did not. I happened to match another person, actually beat another member of this particular team's kills.
Yeah.
With my level 27 at that point in time.
That pretty much cover it?
That's about
Yeah.
it.
I've pretty much done all the same stuff. We talked about the raid that we did. For the first half of the week, I was playing Axiom Verge pretty much every night, so I didn't get a whole lot in until the weekend. But pretty good week in Destiny. We'll move on to the news. This may or may not be a shorter episode. I have a feeling it's going to be longer due to the rants at the end. So,
What rants?
first bit of
rants.
news, which I'm going to say before we go through it. This is going to be the first episode, and we'll continue on. We are not going to be editing out any cursing or anything like that. We are obviously not just going to go off and start swearing every second
We might
word.
tonight.
Well,
Maybe tonight, but
you remember I'm here.
yes.
I've done some pretty awesome ones.
But in the interest of saving editing, and I think people like to hear the curse words and stuff, to be honest, and we did that originally just in case there were younger viewers or younger listeners and stuff. That's really not of our marketplace anyway. So yeah, we'll move on to the news.
Doesn't
The
affect me.
first bit of news is House of Wolves got a release date. It is going to be May 19th, and we are going to hold all conversation about that till the end of the rest of the news. Okay?
I
Next,
promise nothing.
the next bit of news is patch 1.1.2, which actually has some other details revealed, which is pretty cool. One being some PvP improvements, which is definitely needed. So special ammo is going to become more scarce. It is also going to have the radius of how teammates can get the special ammo increased, but the
And
time
heavy ammo.
and heavy ammo, but the time it takes to pick it up is going to be increased as well. You must reload weapons when spawning, so you can't just spawn in and start shooting immediately. That will prevent people from spawning and sniping people literally as soon as they get killed because they know exactly where that person is. And helmets are going to be allowed to be either wearable or non-wearable in social spaces.
cool.
And last but not least, probably the most, other than Vault Space, the most asked for feature is we are going to be able to lock weapons and armor to prevent dismantling on accident. So you're going to be able to push down the right thumbstick on any item that you don't want to dismantle, and it'll lock it. And until you unlock it, it does not allow dismantling.
Which is fantastic because until I hit the bargaining stage of grief, I'm going to lock my Suros regime
Yeah,
Man, like
absolutely.
and my Gala.
that would have been useful about 4 months ago.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of people. This is a big outcry of people contacting Bungie saying that I accidentally deleted this. Can you please restore the item? And of course, that takes. It's just like it was a big problem in World of Warcraft. You either didn't get your
Final
item, or
Fantasy
you
also.
accidentally sharded it, or you accidentally sold it. It's not something that you can, and you would have to contact Blizzard, wait 2 days. They would eventually give you your item back, and then they say this can't happen more than this amount of time, and it's a lot of time for developers to deal with it, right? Next bit of news we have is data mining is becoming more troublesome as people are getting multiple results for the same week now. That revolves to the heroics and the nightfalls, I believe.
Yep.
They're getting more. There were 3 different guesses at what the nightfall is going to be starting Tuesday this week.
Tuesday, 2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days. It's not. We record this on Monday.
The
Sorry.
illusion is dead.
Sorry
Why?
that people think that we don't, but we're in the same damn clothes. Come on. All right.
No,
yeah,
we just
so-
have a rack of clothes on the side here.
Oh yeah, that's it.
costume design.
Yeah,
exactly.
No.
What do you think? What do you think Matt does in his spare time? He's
Yeah,
you
just
know.
does costume design. That's his job, actually. So yeah, data mining is definitely becoming more difficult. However, with the release of House of Wolves being May 19th, Mega Man RX or whatever his name is was
Mega
right.
Man EXE.
EXE 4 it was right. He did data mine that properly, even though Bungie immediately said that it may not be. But it is coming May 19th. Last bit of news we have is Bungie is encouraging people to report not just the bad, but also good players that are really cooperative and helping and positive and stuff. Maybe they announce like some sort of emblem or something for.
It sounds that's the way it's going.
You know,
for
they
that.
want to give good players like a special emblem, and then you see that emblem and means that person's a good person to play with. Apparently,
You know, as long as there's people who are still playing the game. What?
yeah. Okay. So
moving on.
with the release of House of Wolves, they announced a teaser trailer, which we'll start with, which was actually really good. Okay.
Really excited about
They
that
really
teaser
put
trailer.
the House of Wolves expansion into a really good light. Where if you haven't watched the trailer, go watch it, and this will be sort of a spoiler. Basically, all of the Fallen that the Queen in the game has been, they've been working for. They decided that they were done with that shit, and they were heading straight for killing all of the Awoken on their way out the door.
You mean the House of Wolves decided to move on?
The House of Wolves decided to move on. They're on some snow-forsaken planet somewhere, and
Pluto?
hopefully, or a snowy part of Earth would be my guess, or something.
Because Pluto's a
well,
planet again.
actually, there's that area in Moscow. That
Yeah.
area where people were glitching
Yeah.
at the start.
Yeah.
That could be there, and it could lead to another
So-
snowy area.
Yeah.
Basically, these House of Wolves Fallen have left, and the Queen has opened up the reef to all Guardians because she put a bounty on the entire House of Wolves' head, and that is our job to stop them.
I still think her brother's behind it.
Maybe. He doesn't seem to be very happy with the decisions that she makes a lot
Nope.
of times. Well, the one time she made that decision and he didn't like it.
That one decision she made that
In the
one
story.
time in that
Yeah,
one
a
video.
part of the epic story
in her
of
defense,
Destiny.
he is an asshole.
So actually portrayed in a really good light that we're hunting these Fallen and not just here's a raid. Oh wait,
Segue.
raids.
Segue.
What raid?
Yeah. So the biggest announcement to come, which just happened before we recorded this podcast, we're not all that happy about it, but who knows? Maybe it could be good. Bungie very quickly deflated all sort of hype about that trailer by announcing House of Wolves will not include a raid. I don't know what they're trying to do,
Compete with Call of Duty.
but the problem is that all of their player base that is remaining and still playing Destiny
Plays for the raid.
plays for Crota's End and to try and do the raid, and because that is their most appreciated part of it. Obviously, Iron Banner and stuff is good, but not having a raid is a huge blow. Instead, we were reading, and it says they're going to have an arena-based cooperative event called the Prison of Elders. Okay, so they're going a different road. Not really what I had in mind when
fault.
I said arena.
All
I
your
wanted an
fault.
arena-based raid.
100%
Your fault.
Mike's fault.
Sure.
No, in his defense, he did say arena-based raid.
Raid.
I remember we talked
Yes,
about it. I
because
said, yeah,
it would
that would
be
be
cool
awesome.
if it was like a big room.
We all
and
know
it was,
Bungie has a short attention span.
Yes.
They only listen to the first
They only
half.
listen to the
It's
first
still
half of
your
the
fault.
sentence. So, with this, they have decided to come out with an arena-based cooperative endgame.
I could deal with the arena.
Yeah, me too, actually. I think it would be a cool step in the right direction, except it's 3 players, which is another problem because we have a group of about 7 players already. So, yes, it works out because any given raid night, there is normally one person who can't come. Then we go with 6 players and nobody is left out. But with 3 players, we are now going to have to pair up into teams and do this. This is a giant slap in the face to any of the player base that is still playing Destiny, unless this cooperative thing is amazing.
My exact quote was they took the dildo bat from
Saints Row.
Saints Row and just shoved it with no lube.
Yeah. Okay, let's get... You can express your feelings now. I'm done talking. Go ahead. No powering up.
Big Goku.
You can't go Super Saiyan.
Yeah. No, seriously, share your feelings, guys. So, like, seriously,
I had one
We were
feel
all-
left and they killed it.
yes. So everybody's excited for this expansion. Let's paint the picture. We're all ready. We're level 32 on some of us on multiple characters, and we are ready for the next raid. We get the release date that we've been waiting for since March, and they slap us or kick us while we're waiting for this by announcing the release date, getting us all excited at 1 o'clock this afternoon, and then several hours later while we're recording our other podcast, decide let's announce that they're not going to have the part of the game that we cherish so much as the best part of Destiny. So what are your feelings, Matt? How do you feel about this?
I'm still in denial. 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
It's a late April Fool's Day joke.
Yeah. Bungie was never good at timing things.
yeah.
Yeah,
no
they're-
kidding.
We know they're not good at time.
Yeah.
It has to be good. If not, that disc's getting snapped right
Yeah.
in half.
Look.
Um,
I
On a Twitch stream.
on a Twitch stream
yeah.
of playing anything else.
So there's
It's-
2 things happening in House of
We
Wolves
can
that
play
are
table tennis.
that are considered endgame, right? We're getting Trial of Osiris,
Temple of Osiris.
Trial
Trials?
of Osiris, and Temple of Elders.
Oh,
So those are
Prison
those
of Elders.
Prison of Elders, Temple of whatever it is. So we're getting those 2 endgame things. One being an arena.
One's Crucible.
Kinda sounds like. Does it sort of sound like it's going to be almost like a horde mode,
Man,
only
but
a different
It's-
way?
It sounds like Call of Duty Zombies,
Yeah.
but it's going to be House of Wolves.
But my only problem is the Prison of Elders is very small. It only holds one fallen guy.
Yeah. No, that's a cell from the Prison of Elders.
Oh.
The Prison
A
of Elders
singular
has
cell.
multiple
Oh, okay.
cells.
Yeah.
So it definitely does sound like you're going to be in a prison fighting all these different waves of House of Wolves. Now, What if they do this instead, which would be an even bigger slap in the face, and they don't do that? This is all that is a cooperative, basically horde mode, and the story is the only thing you get about House of Wolves content stuff. So you don't get a raid. You go through 5 or 6 story modes.
Mike, you broke it last time. You shut your dirty, filthy mouth.
They're already
You
done
shut
it.
your dirty, filthy mouth. I could have lived with it could be a fun change up to go with just the cooperative and okay, we're doing waves upon waves and we can have a lot of joking around. Taking away the only 6-person activity that we have.
Absolutely.
Like, this is a massive social game. The most fun I have playing this game is when I'm playing it in a large group, and we all know that when you're in an intense activity, you can't be in, like, it. Sure, we could just break the group into 2 groups.
Yeah.
And half of us go here and half of us go here, but being in the same chat party while trying to coordinate all of that, while trying to have fun, while trying to joke around, and have a good time with it, you can't do that while doing 2 separate activities.
Yeah, you're going to have to each be in a different chat because otherwise you're not going to be able to communicate properly with your team. So they're splitting up the group chats now because I'm not going to be in a group with the other group of 3 people while doing this because somebody's screaming, hey, watch out, watch out, watch out, and you're like, okay, that's not in my group. Yeah. So that's, I don't know.
It's taking, in my opinion, the best part, which is the social aspect, and we're deciding to trim it down further and further and further every time. I could deal with the arena. It's a new take. It's fresh. If they did it well, they have to do it well. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt on that, which really they haven't earned
Here's the kicker.
at all.
No matchmaking.
Yeah. Well,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I just want a great 6-person experience where I can go in with my friends and have a blast.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So especially the other night when we were doing that 6-person raid, we didn't take the last part seriously, and we had a absolute blast trying to force our way through Death Singer.
I'm pretty sure my wife wanted to leave me at the end of it because she thought I was nuts.
Yeah, exactly. But it was
time.
really fun. And now they're taking away the only, as you said, the only 6-person aspect of the game, which is the raid, making it a 3-person cooperative, and they're using all these fancy terms to make it seem like, well, there's going to be endless replayability. Okay, Gears of War had a horde mode, and it was endless replayability theoretically, but it's not really, because if you have to do a horde mode and you have to get to certain levels of it to get gear, or if they do a grinding thing where you just have to do it over and over again to get currency, like that's not fun to me. It's not the same thing as getting a drop off an event or a boss.
Having an arena mode is significantly less replayable, because unless they figure out a way to get really good end activities out of each wave. Like, we all know wave modes suck.
Yeah.
You do them because you have to.
Yeah.
Or because it's zombies, and zombies can get away with that because it's zombies.
Yeah, because it's a small part of a much larger game.
Well, it's going to be the Prison of Elders.
Yeah.
It's a prison. They're going to be locked doors. You'll just have to wait for Peter to open doors.
Oh man, if they do that, I am
Prison of Peter Dinklage opening doors. So I skipped the denial phase altogether in the 5 stages of grief.
Yeah.
I went right to rage.
Yep.
I'm probably going to go back to rage.
Yeah.
But Bungie, if you're listening, I'm going to go to the bargaining stage for a second. I will give you my Suros regime. I will give you my Icebreaker. I will give you my Galahorn.
We will offer up all the Galahorns in existence.
I will offer you all of my exotics.
You know what? Just wipe all our characters. Do that.
Get me to start from scratch.
Yeah, start us from scratch and give us a raid.
Don't take away
So
only thing.
They did manage to announce that a raid is coming later on. Whether that's going to be part of this September release, or whether it's going, if it releases between now and September, or between May 19th and September, that's going to be a big slap in the face, because it means they still weren't done the content, as Sam was mentioning before we started recording this. If they do that, that means they removed the raid to push the content out by May 19th, and they have something to talk about at E3. They better push that raid back to September, because if not, people are going to be even more mad. Now, they have a plan of what they're going to be talking about as far as calendar-wise. So we're going to, in a couple weeks, we're going to get a walk around the Reef Social area.
The Reef Social area and the new upgrade trees for
exotics. We're going to get the path of how we upgrade our exotics, and
that's
hopefully they've addressed that so that we don't have to re-level them. whether that be like, you need this much experience or this much. Maybe you need 20,000 glimmer and you buy a piece and you just upgrade the item or something. Like, that's not so bad.
I think the best thing I ever did in the new raid, in the Crota raid, is when I got my Crux of Crota.
Yep.
And I had my Eidolon's Ally, like I did all the grinding to upgrade it fully.
Yep.
When I upgraded that from Eidolon's Ally to Necrochasm, and it came fully loaded because I had done all the grinding,
Yep.
that was probably one of the best things I've ever seen happen in that game, where
Yep.
I could just go in and start using the gun. Like, do something where you need to earn the
Yep.
upgrade a little bit. Not a lot, because we've already earned these exotics, but
Yep.
earn the upgrade. And then give us our guns back.
Yeah, so this is really important because obviously we're talking a lot of negativity about not having a raid, but the reality is that I at least know that 3 of us are going to play this. Sam has already hit a wall and he may be slower to the party or something, and that's not an insult in any way.
I'm rebuilding my PC.
Yeah.
I have more than enough games to keep me entertained.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's gonna
So I
be
know
a
3 of us are
big
going to
thing.
play it, but it needs to, like, if they go this road and this Prison of Elders and the Temple or Trial of Osiris, whatever it is, if those are not good enough to keep my attention, this podcast will have to end, because we're not going to do a podcast if only one of us is playing the actual game. The September release has to be really good, and
Now I'm afraid it's not going to be as much as what they say.
right, because
It's
they keep changing.
No
Now,
subclasses, no extra 10 levels. It'll
right.
just-
In their defense, they didn't remove something and didn't put something else in. They made as a conscious decision to change the decision of a raid to change to this other thing, right?
Who knows? It could be amazing.
Right. We could get in there and we could be like, this is a raid, only it is 3-person, which kind of sucks.
I don't like the 3-person.
Right. But it could be like a raid only with 3 people. Who knows? Like, they could, if they do these waves, or if it is a wave mode or a horde mode, and they do it so that you go through these 4 waves and then there's a boss at the end of it, and you have to get through the waves while killing the boss. Like, that's something that a lot of other MMOs did, and they were actually very successful raids.
You mean like basically every single, not raid, but
strike?
strike
Yeah.
in the game. Do all these waves of enemies. Okay, fight a boss.
Yeah, but I'm saying a timed event, though. So the wave, you have to kill it by this amount of time, then this amount of time. And if you don't have that 3rd wave done before wave 4, which is a boss, those enemies are still up by the time, and the boss comes out and you have to deal with all of them now. So things like that do intrigue me. But now I'm going to throw a little bit of a wrench into the mix, because Bungie is known to make announcements sort of last minute and things like that. What if they announce no new raid, and then they announce that they're upgrading the current 2 raids to our level? What if they do that?
Still hitting a wall.
I don't think it's enough either, but if people do want to have Fatebringer and guns like that are pretty much going to be rendered useless if we go to level 34.
Well, no.
If
the picture of the thing where they're showing the texture, they have the hand cannon from the VOG raid.
Yeah.
And it beside it. That one will be upgraded. All the VOG weapons will have
okay.
an upgrade.
So they're allowing you to upgrade
Yes.
the weapons. Well, maybe they announce the upgrade path is they have a very hard version of Vault of Glass, and you have to do it that way or something.
What's the current damage right now?
300.
331 for current weapons.
Okay.
But Fatebringer maxes
Fatebringer is
out at
300.
Same
Yeah.
as
Yeah,
Wizard
yeah,
of
but they will
Confluence.
be going up to 365. That's the new damage.
Yeah. Well, it's a little bit of a slap in the face. Obviously, we're going to continue to do this until we find out if that, and who knows, maybe they do a really good job with the story and they have a whole bunch of story missions, but as of right now, it doesn't bode well, because I know that most of the player base left are hardcore raiders or people that at least do the raid and Nightfalls every week. That's going to be a problem for people.
They have the new lore master, so
Yeah, I know,
Could be
but
good.
it's, man, the story may be good, but if they only have 4 missions,
Yeah.
that's a day, right? Because their missions aren't very good. So
when was Crota? Like a day and a half?
yeah, well,
Besides the raid?
if you did that big chain quest, it may have been a day and a half if you had to wait for Zur,
Yeah.
like to buy the urn and then hand it back in.
I had
Well,
to wait
that quest
like
doesn't
5
matter.
days.
It doesn't
Yeah.
do anything.
So we will find out, I guess, as we get closer. We are still going to be bringing you this podcast as of right now. But in all honesty, it may end if we all stop playing Destiny, because the raid is really the biggest reason we all still play together. And this arena thing better be freaking good, because otherwise,
Yeah.
it'll be a dying game, and they shouldn't even release content for it because I won't pay for an expansion in September unless it's something amazing. So I think that pretty much does it.
Are we going to go over all the dates, or are we going to wait for each week for those dates?
We'll talk about that each week, I think, as they come, as we get more information.
We can have topics to talk on the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we
Well-
have some things to talk about. They're going to go over Upgrade Pass, and then they're going to do a walk around the Reef Social area. Then on May 6th, that's the important date, and we will talk about that more. They are going to go over what the Prison of Elders is, and
Is that May 6th?
May 6th.
May 6th, yes.
That
10
will
days,
be the
13
pretty
days.
much end all be all of whether or not I'm going to stop before House of Wolves or if I'm going to continue to play. But can you imagine people like Invigorate, the people who did like Crota first and all that stuff? Can you imagine those people who like spent all this time upgrading all 3 characters, getting level 32 on all 3 different classes so that they can mix and match their teams, and then finding out there's no raid? That's gotta be like the biggest slap in the face. Like I would be shocked if they weren't sitting there like breaking their discs at the moment. So
Yeah, we actually have some followers that were all planning to try to do like book the days.
yeah,
we're
of
gonna book
course.
the days
There's
off
always
and
that
to
excitement
do
of trying to do a first
world's
kill, but
first, but
now it's just gonna be whatever this Prison of Elders is. Now,
World's first level, whatever in the
yeah.
prison.
So all that being said, maybe it's great. Maybe they made the right decision. That Bungie is not stupid. They made really good games, and they
did.
So who knows? Maybe this will be better than a raid. It does suck that it's not 6 players, but who knows? Maybe they add that later or something, and who knows?
Shouldn't be an ad later thing.
I know. I agree with you. I'm not
Well,
not
it's too late
disputing
for it
that.
not to be. So
Yeah.
Well, look at the game we have now.
Yeah, I'm with you. So that, man, that pretty much does it for this podcast. Hopefully you enjoyed the podcast and didn't get too discouraged by the announcements. If you want to follow me on Twitter, you can follow me at Chalices. If you want to follow Matt,
at Man W the Beard.
if you want to follow Sam,
Mr. Gloom and Doom.
and if you want to follow Josh,
Joe Quiggle.
that'll do it. This has been the last word. No, that hasn't been the last word. If you want to follow us as a collective group, you can follow us at Gaming Lag, 2Gs in Lag. Sorry, man, I'm really distressed.
The most important
The
one.
most important one, follow us at Gaming Lag, 2Gs and Lag. Tweet us, send in your questions. We didn't have one this week, but we had lots to talk about anyway.
Mike's hit
Support
the
gamers, support
depression.
gamers, support the swag shop, and support Extra Life as well. I'll mention that at the end of every one of these podcasts. That's a good fundraiser. Anything else? Am I missing anything now?
Nope.
So that has been the last word.